everyone, this is Canny Couple. My name is Julia, Aaron's behind the camera, and today I want to show you how to make a gallon of liquid hand soap for under $1. But before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. So everybody's trying to learn to cut costs today, find substitutes, find different ways to do things. And this is a recipe I've actually been making for 12 years, personally. And I've adjusted it over the years and tried different things, but I always come back to the same basic liquid hand soap recipe. And this is so easy. It's so easy. It takes no time and it costs hardly anything. But you can make it more expensive. It depends on what hand soap you're using. Sorry, my nose is itching. So I'm using Dial. This is what I've always used. It's one of the cheapest soaps out there. Aaron was checking. I did not spend this on the soap. It was about 80 cents per bar, give or take, depending on where you got it. I didn't spend that on this. It was probably closer to like, 60 cents. I have some older stuff that I've not found yet. I probably spent like 25 cents on it that we're still running through from when I first came to live with Aaron. And that was 7 years ago. So it's been a while. So you need 1 bar of soap. You're going to want to grate it. This is my soap grater. It's the old one. That's all I use it for. It's a food grater. All I use it for is soap. And this is what you have when you're done. Just 1 bar of soap. Very simple. And then you need water. And you're going to get 16 cups of water and put it in a pot. So here's my soap pot. You can tell it's a little rough because it has been moved to a soap pot. And I've got 16 cups of water in here. And all I'm going to do is pour this in. Just try to get out as much of the soap as possible. And if you want to get fancy, you can. Most soaps would work with this. If you like a particular soap, like Dove, or I don't know if like the Dr. Bronner's, the cast, that kind of soap is going to work here, but I have never really had an issue with the Dial. So this is what it looks like in the water. Very simple, very basic. And now what we're going to do is let it cook for about an hour. So I'm going to turn it on medium, like a medium-low heat, and just let it simmer. And we're just going to let the soap melt into the water. And that's it. After that, we will actually move it into a gallon jug. And we'll let that set up for a few hours. And then we're actually going to do a test here later to see if we can make this work as a foaming hand soap, because that is something I've not tried yet. And if we can, this soap's going to stretch even further. I will say, I usually make this, how often do I make it?
Twice a year?
No, not this one. Probably every 2 months. This one's so easy. It takes no time, like nothing. This is one, I think it took me 2 minutes total to grate the soap. Now if you dry out, your soap is going to take longer because your soap is going to be harder. This was not dried out, so just hand grating it. And if you look at it, a gallon for under $1, I think the cheapest you can get a big thing of liquid hand soap for now is probably going to be around $4 to $5.
I don't know. We haven't looked at prices in so long. We might
Aaron's
be totally
not
off.
made it. Aaron's not made it. I mean, since we started doing this is what we've used and it's what we prefer. It does act a little differently. If you're looking for something that's really sudsy, this does not set up. But your hands, I always feel like they're cleaner. I really do. We've had to buy the liquid, and I don't like it. I just don't like it as well as I like this stuff that I make myself. You can add glycerin to this when it's done. I will tell you, I do not. That is one thing I don't add to it. I used to. I didn't think it did anything for it. It was just an extra added cost that I didn't need to add. Like I said, it's really going to depend on what you use here. So you can make this as cheap as possible by finding the absolute cheapest soap you can. You can make it more expensive. I don't know if it works with homemade soaps. Like if you buy them at a farmer's market, someone who sells soap, or if you make it yourself. I'm not quite sure if it works with that. I've never tried it with it. Like I said, when I first got with Aaron, we bought a pack of dial, and we're still on that same pack of dial because it was cheaper to get the big pack, and that's just what we've sort of stuck with. I think we maybe replaced it one time, but we've really not had to spend a lot of money to make this, and I'm not really spread my wings to try other soaps. I'll say Dial works for me, and it's a 4-ounce bar, so you're not using like an 8-ounce. You're just a very simple, basic bar of soap. So we're gonna let this cook, and we will come back when it gets done and get it into the jug. So it's been an hour. My soap has cooked and it's fully gotten into the water, so everything's fully melted and mixed together. Now it's time for me just to fill a gallon jug. So I use old vinegar bottles. I had lost my other one. We have no idea where it went. So we're just going to use a new one. I have plenty. They last longer. They're a little bit more sturdy because this Soap King's kind of set up a bit, so you need to be able to shake it when you need to use it, and these actually hold up really well. So we're just going to start filling it up. You can kind of see the color, just a white, kind of opaque looking soap. And it would be a different color if you used a different color soap. It just depends on what you actually want to use. I would normally do this over the sink. We're just going to repeat over and over and over again. And as I'm filling this, I will tell you that I'll show you what this looks like when it sets up. It does take a bit to set up, so it'll be the end of the day. We'll get back on here and actually show you what this looks like after it's had time to cool down and thicken up. But yep, that's it. It is that easy. 40 minutes exactly. Aaron actually asked me if it had been long enough. That's all it takes. And I get over a gallon, I get a gallon of soap, which is about twice as much, if not more, than what you're going to get when you buy it for $5 or $6 for $1, less than $1. So to me, it's really worth the cost and the little bit of effort I have to put into it. So we'll come back later today, and I will show you what this looks like when it's all said and done. So it's been a couple of hours since we've made our hand soap, and as you can see, we are set up. And you can't tell because it's a white color, but I'm going to show you here. You can kind of tell it's not very runny. It's probably a little bit more runny than what you're used to. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like, liquid soap. And show you what it looks like when you set it up. So I told you I didn't set up very much, and it doesn't compare to other soaps, but it does set up just fine. I mean, it actually gets you clean. And I will say that it seems like you're not using enough, but in today's society, all the big companies want you to use more of the product than you actually need to use. We know this with dishwashing detergent, laundry soap, anything like this. You're told to use a lot more than you actually need to use to spend more money and to be rougher on your appliances. So we've never had an issue with this at all, not feeling like we got clean. But now we're going to do the test. We're going to see if it works here. So as you can see, I have a foamy bottle. We spent 99 cents at Ollie's. You hear everybody talk about Big Lots. Big Lots here is expensive. We like Ollie's. We get really good deals there, and we just pick up basic things. And we picked up some of these under the median. She talked about how you could really use a lot less soap by using a foamy hand dispenser. And we tried it, and I had to say, I'm a believer. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to fill it up with some water here. Just going to keep filling it up a little bit. I'm going to fill it up to right there, and that's probably need to dump a little bit of that out. Okay. About 2/3 of the way full. And I'm actually going to take just a little bit less out, just to make sure I have enough soap. Because what becomes the problem is, it's not that I'm going to use that much soap. This will push it up, so you're going to waste some of your soap. So you want to make sure you really don't go past this mark right here. And now I'm going to pour, and you want to be careful, especially if this is set up, because it's going to glob on me right here. You don't want to use too much and you'll have a waste. I will tell you, this is very heavy. Okay. And I'm going to give it a quick stir. It kind of looks like you're doing a craft project. It looks really pretty. You can see how full it got all of a sudden. As I twist this down, it's going to get more full. We're going to give it a shake. And I'm going to get the soap out of it. And it will foam. So it doesn't foam like a really thick foam, but it foams. It foams really well. I mean, what do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Using way less soap, it's going to go twice as far. And it was already going really far for us anyways. So how far can I take this now? You can see it suds up great in the bowl. Probably should have used a different color bowl so y'all could see it better. But it suds up fantastic in the bowl. So I would say, even for foaming soap dispenser, this stuff works. You still feel clean. You're using less stuff. You're wasting less. And you're stretching that dollar. And we're all looking for a way to stretch dollar. $1 cost me $1 to make this. A little bit of time. Very little time to make this. It took me 5 minutes max to grate the soap. It took probably more time to fill up the pot with water than it did to actually grate the soap. So to me, it's absolutely worth it to save, I would say, what, $10 worth of soap here?
At least.
At least. It's I mean, because this is a gallon. You can tell it's an old vinegar jug.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
And for the foaming soap, it's going to go even farther.
It's going to go even farther.
I mean, we're talking about experiences from using it just in that type of one.
Yeah.
You know, not in a foaming soap dispenser.
And we'll still use this. We'll still use this.
Oh,
we keep this in the kitchen. I keep this full, and this is mostly for Aaron when he goes out. I know he's missed our homemade hand soap.
Yes.
Because when he goes out, he hates using anything else. And it's just so easy for him to wash his hands. And it might not suds up as good, but I could tell you, for us personally, it feels better. I will tell you, using the foamy soap dispenser, even though I'm using less soap, my hands feel just as clean, but I've not had the breakouts on my hands as usual. My hands haven't been as dry. They haven't been as flaky. I haven't had the issues that I typically tend to have, especially in the winter time, early spring, with weather hurting my hands. And I'm not a lotions person. I don't lotion up my hands and feet like a lot of people do every night like you're supposed to. It's just, I don't have time and I don't think about it. So I will say this has really helped with my personal skincare, with my hands being, you know, the same all year round, and it stretches the dollar. I mean, I don't know how you could beat this. This is an absolute winner in our book, and it really, I mean, this is as frugal as you can get.
Yeah, and if you really enjoyed, you know, this type of one here, like, you know, saving money, something that you make around the house, you know, make sure you hit that like button.
Absolutely. We would so appreciate it. Now, if you have any questions, anything you want to see from us in the future, if you have a suggestion on how to make this better, please make sure you send us an email or leave us a comment at thecannycouple@yahoo.com. Please check out our link tree. You can see all the other links to our other content, our podcasts, anything like that we put out there. And thank you for joining us on The Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.